What is so bad about myopia, about nearsightedness, and what does it exactly mean? Hello everyone, my name is Medina. I am an orthoptist, a clinical epidemiologist. I'll discuss negative prescriptions, about nearsightedness, or in medical terms, myopia. You have probably come across the term nearsightedness or myopia somewhere before, especially in the news lately. And so much research has been done on it recently. And then we often talk about the increase in myopia, the increase in negative prescriptions. Well, what does that exactly mean, and what is really so bad about nearsightedness, and why is it increasing so significantly? Let's start with the term myopia or nearsightedness. What does that actually mean? Myopia, also known as nearsightedness, is a refractive error where a person cannot see distant objects very well. It naturally depends on how high the negative prescription is. So if someone has a 0.50 or a very low negative prescription, they can manage quite well. Only those very small letters at a distance of 10 meters, for example, you might not be able to see very well. Or the subtitles on your TV, they might be hard to see. But suppose the negative prescription is a bit higher. -2, -3, -4, -8, -10 also occurs sometimes, -14. That means you can see things clearly at this close distance, but as things get further away, they become blurry and increasingly blurrier. With a negative prescription or myopia, nearsightedness, it means that the eyeball is often too long. It also has to do with the cornea and your eye's lens calculation, but it is very common for the eye to be too long. What happens then if the eye is too long? If the eye is too long, the light rays do not focus on the optimal spot on our retina, where we see the sharpest, but instead they focus just in front of it and not at the correct point further back. What happens then? You can use glasses or contact lenses to ensure that the light rays are refracted in such a way that they fall correctly on the right spot of the retina. So, the mildest myopia means someone who cannot see very well in the distance, hence the name nearsightedness, which means you can see up close but not far away. Myopia or nearsightedness is often a condition that is strongly related to heredity. Heredity plays a very significant role in the development of refractive errors. Furthermore, it also has a lot to do with our lifestyle. So that means if you are someone who doesn't go outside very often and does a lot of close-up work, this means that for children who don't go outside often and do a lot of close-up work, it doesn't matter if you're looking at a tablet or reading books, reading comics, it naturally happens often as well. If you spend too much time focusing on close-up tasks, it can lead to a negative prescription. It is common among people who have a family history of nearsightedness. So if both parents have a refractive error, or there are many cases of nearsightedness in the family, the child is likely to develop it as well. And it gets much worse if the child does too much close-up work and doesn't go outside. The negative prescription can increase more quickly and frequently. As I said, with a negative prescription, it means your eye is too long, and the child is going to keep growing. They will get taller and taller and taller. So then the eye keeps growing and growing and more. It will continue to get longer in the future. And as I just mentioned earlier, those two significant factors, the living environment as well as heredity. So if mom and dad have a negative prescription, the eye will grow very rapidly. It becomes large quickly. And if you keep looking at things up close and don't go outside, the eye will keep growing larger and larger. And then the eye will grow very rapidly. If the eye becomes too long, it can lead to some eye abnormalities, problems, and eye diseases in the future. So an elongated eye is obviously not very beneficial for your retina and your blood vessels. And for the intraocular pressure, it is absolutely not beneficial if the eyeball becomes too elongated. Apart from eye disorders and diseases that can develop because the eye is too long, an eye muscle problem can also arise as the eye starts to press too hard on the muscles of your eyes. What can you do about the negative prescription first? Glasses. First and foremost, a pair of glasses. What the glasses will do is, through a correction, ensure that the light rays still fall nicely on the right spot. So then someone can see well in the distance. Without squinting or making an effort, you would just see clearly in the distance. Unfortunately, regular glasses or normal contact lenses cannot prevent the growth of the eye. But fortunately, there are some things we can do about it. So as I just mentioned a moment ago, we don't want the eyeball to become too long. Then, many problems can arise later in life. So what we should do best for children is to spend a lot of time outside. Every day spend 2 hours outside, at least 2 hours, preferably more. And what is also very important is that when you look at something up close, we shouldn't do it for too long. And preferably not too close, but a bit further away. And after every 20 minutes, we will take a break. Stop completely. Don't look at anything up close anymore. Then take a break for a while. Fortunately, it's a short break, so no dragging on. The break is very short. During the break, look into the distance for at least 20 seconds, or even longer if possible. preferably at a distance of 6 meters or more, ideally. Look for 20 seconds. Look, count to 20, and then you can continue. But preferably, spend those 20 seconds looking into the distance. Or preferably take a long break. You have probably also heard about the 20-22 rule. So that means after looking at something up close for 20 minutes, you take a 20-second break to look into the distance. 20-22, the last two, means that you go outside for 2 hours a day. Even if it's not sunlight, it's a bit twilight, a rainy day, it would still help a lot if you go outside. Not in the dark, but ideally in daylight. That can help ensure that your eye length doesn't grow too much. With that, you can do a lot for yourself. That is the foundation. That is the most important thing, that you stick well to the 20-22 rule. Until you are fully grown, until you really stop growing, it's best to do your utmost to completely and absolutely stick to those lifestyle recommendations and beneficial and fruitful guidelines. I have a 9-year-old son, and I have a minor refractive error. My husband also has a minor refractive error. It's common in my family. It's also common in my husband's family. I keep a close eye on my 9-year-old son, not allowed to view things up close. He spends a lot of time outside. And if it's a rainy day, we still try to keep the curtains open a bit, so that we have a lot of light coming in. Preferably, we sit close to the window, that he gets a lot of light in his eyes. That is super important. What else could you do besides the 20-22 rule? Nowadays, there are also special eyeglass lenses. I will specifically mention and explain them in one of my upcoming videos. There are always new products coming to the market that we can use to combat the growth of the eyeball. And furthermore, there are also special contact lenses that are designed to help with vision, and special eye drops called atropine eye drops. But I will provide more information about that in one of my upcoming videos. But for now, the most important rule of all, which is absolutely essential to follow and adhere to, the basic 20-22 rule. If you would like to know more about this, there is also a website from Erasmus MC, part of the Erasmus Rotterdam Hospital. They have a very nice website, myop.nl. I will include it below. Then you can also visit that website for more information. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. And would you like to hear more about topics related to myopia? Or any other topics? I would love to hear about them too. You can leave them in the comments below. And if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Hopefully, we'll see together in one of my next videos. Bye.